What is going on, everybody? Hope you're having an amazing day. Welcome back to the channel. My name is Luke Relfs, and my biggest goal for 2024 is to grow my personal brand. And so every single week, I'll be sharing an update as a separate video every week of what I'm learning and how I'm growing, the things that I'm struggling with, just being super honest and hopefully teaching you guys a little bit about what I'm learning. But every week as well, I'm going to be dropping a video like this where I kind of break down one of the principles that I learned from the prior week and sharing it with you guys to hopefully help you on this journey if this is something that you're interested in. I think growing a personal brand is the most important thing that you can do. It allows you so much freedom. And so I'll talk more about that later. But if this is something you're interested in, this is probably why you're watching this video. And so I'm breaking down today the most important first step in building your personal brand, which is creating your ideal audience member. So let's go ahead and jump right into it here on the screen, and I'll share with you guys my example. Don't be worried. There's a lot of words on here. I didn't get a chance to add pictures for my ideal audience members. I think that's a really cool thing to do at some point, but I'm just going to share this framework with you so you guys can take this and run with it and do it yourselves. And I promise you, this will be the thing that will provide the most clarity to all the content that you're going to create after you've made this decision to build your personal brand, because you can't create content if you don't know who it's for, right? Funny part is as you do this, you realize that typically when you draft these up, these ideal audience members end up being the person that you were years ago in different ways. And so there's a lot of similarities between these two characters in different ways for myself, but there's also some things that just encompass the people that I would like to impact because my story is actually different, but still same, similar enough things that they can relate with other parts of my story. So I'll rock through these real quick, and I'm not going to go super in depth on every part to keep this as short and sweet as possible, but this is the story I wrote out for the first one. So my character one, my first stream follower is Jackson. He's 24 years old, just graduated college a few years ago, and is already sick of the rat race of a classic 9 to 5. He makes decent money, but has started to dread that he's trading his freedom and creativity for a good retirement plan and security. He's a pretty creative dude, but has always felt as if he couldn't pursue content creation or building his personal brand because it was too risky, difficult, and he struggles with the fear of comparison. He is fit and into personal development, hoping that eventually he'll gain the confidence to put himself out there and create his dream life. He doesn't have much experience with cameras, editing, or talking to camera, and these things don't necessarily come supernatural for him. With the right guidance and systems to learn and improve in the art of communication, scripting, and a dash of send it mentality, it'd be more than possible for him to achieve his buried dream of creating a strong online presence that generates him well over whatever he makes at his current 9 to 5. For the second one, my second dream follower is Erin. She's a 26-year-old who went to college for a year but dropped out to pursue her dream of being a YouTuber. She's worked odd jobs, including waiting tables and a few side gigs from what she's learned over the years of filming and editing videos. Her parents constantly nag her to return to college to get a steady job, but she hates the idea of being back in school and being just like everyone else. Despite having spent a good amount of time creating YouTube videos over the years, she has yet to see real traction in her number of followers and subscribers on various platforms. She struggles with consistency and has been plagued with friends from her workplace and otherwise that aren't achieving much in life and constantly pull her to the clubs and bars to forget about work the next day. She's never made much money and has failed to put the correct systems in place, including mapping out her dream followers, a way to connect and monetize with them, and her plans for consistency and growing on platforms. Once she puts these things into place and gets around other people she wants to be like, along with mentorship, she'll start to flourish like she never thought possible. She just needs the extra push from someone she identifies with to convince her to take time away from her friends and relentlessly pursue her goals. Even just coming up with a story for your ideal audience member, can you see how much clarity you get into the issues they're having, the things that they're good at and can work on, the strengths that they can push into, and then how you can come in, identify with them, and help move them from their biggest fears and their biggest struggles to their desires, right? So we break this down here further in just a second. Character one, what is Jackson passionate about? He's passionate about self-development and his faith. That's definitely true for me. He takes care of his body, enjoys good time with friends who encourages him, but he's yet to get in a community of people doing the things that he desires to do. He likes playing video games occasionally and has a healthy work-life balance where he can spend time with his lady and friends, but still enjoy what he does and make great money. He's constantly reading books and listening to podcasts from people he aspires to be like, but lacks the confidence and skills to get out there and take the first steps to reach them. Erin enjoys making videos, spending time with her friends, and daydreaming. She typically spends more time thinking and less time doing. She's a great friend and someone that a lot of people desire to spend time with. That keeps her jumping from interaction to interaction, leaving little time to really focus on her goals. And so again, when you figure out who your ideal audience member, or what rather they are passionate about, you can create content around these things. What are their goals, dreams, and desires? Jackson's goal is to improve his communication skills and finally make his first video. Even though he'll feel awkward, with enough practice, he'll eventually be able to improve his skill of connecting with the audience that's also human and viewing his life essentially through a screen. Desires to build a strong personal brand, sharing products with his audience that were in the same place as he was just a few years ago. Desires to help others improve in their communication because it wasn't natural for him, but he was committed to it and kept doing it. For Erin, even though she loves her friends, she's starting to realize the truth of the phrase, "show me your friends and I'll show you your future." She's too scared to take the leap because she doesn't want to be lonely for a season of her life, but doesn't realize that as she prioritizes herself and her goals, she'll wiggle her way into communities of people striving for the same thing that she is. She wants to create YouTube videos for a full-time living and finally prove her parents wrong that she needed to go to college and should give up her silly little video making thing. Her dreams to be able to travel the world, be financially independent, and wake up every day excited to ideate, script, and record YouTube videos. So again, as you figure out what they're passionate about and what their desires are, you can start to create things and speak to these people in your content that will help move them from their fears to their dreams and their desired outcome with what they're doing. This is another really big part of it, outlining your ideal audience member's deepest fears. Jackson's deepest fear is that he'll try and fail at creating content and be stuck working a 9 to 5 the rest of his life. A perfect thing to speak on in your content to these kind of people. He's worried he'll never get good enough or be able to make money from building his personal brand. Believes the lie that everyone else is already doing this. Asks, why would anyone listen to me? He needs to hone in on taking people on the journey with him and just simply documenting this process of improving at speaking on camera and creating content. Just again, so much clarity as you're starting to map out this whole fictional but very real story about so many people out there. Erin's deepest fear is that her parents were right, that she should give up on creating YouTube videos. Fears that she'll never be able to leave her friend group and resist the constant nights out drinking and wasting time. She's super creative and naturally gifted in the realm of speaking, but has relied on her talent, leaving little room to be critical on her thought process of scripting videos to remain consistent. She only makes a video every few months when she has time and motivation, and only has a few thousand subscribers on YouTube after a couple years. Worries she'll never grow the way she wants to be able to make a full-time living off of YouTube. Has no idea how to monetize her following. So I just love this, man. So much clarity on who you are trying to serve when you do this exercise. Again, just listing out specific struggles for each of these people. For Jackson, he struggles with speaking on camera, being open and vulnerable, building an audience, thinking of what kind of content to create, believing the lie that other people can do it, but he can't, constantly learning, but never putting these things into action, and just having ascendant mentality. Those are the things that he struggles with. And I liked having a pretty different story for these two people. You see, Jackson is not great at speaking, but probably has the money to put into investments, into a mentorship, and get in the right community. But then my other ideal audience member, Erin, she is great at speaking, but she struggles with the systems and getting away from her friends who are pulling her away from what she really wants to do. So there's this really good mix of things that you've been through in your life that you fuse into these different stories. I didn't go to college like Jackson did. did to get a full-time job and all these different things. But I really resonate with both of my ideal audience members in different ways. And so that's how you're going to see in a second that we can share stories from our life to relate to the people that are in that camp of our ideal audience member. Erin struggles with systems and planning, the belief that other people are out there to connect with that are better for her than her current friend group. She has too much reliance on her talents, which equal no planning or strategizing. She struggles with consistency, with repurposing her videos for more content on social media, and she doesn't have much money to invest maybe into a big course or mentorship. So that's helpful for me as the person wanting to create content for these people, and you thinking of how can you eventually promote products, courses, mentorships, cohorts, webinars, whatever it is, to speak into your ideal audience members' fears and move them along to their greatest desires instead. So this is where we get to this part of how can you use your content to best relate to these people. And so for me, I just had a couple deals. I worked a door-to-door sales job doing solar and chasing money and security, the desire to improve myself in developing skills. I've also believed the lie that it's too late to start growing a personal brand. I definitely had a learning curve figuring out how to get on camera and use all of it, along with editing, being around the wrong friends that held you back, and being creative but not having the systems in place to consistently get work done. So between those, that's kind of a little bit for both of them. For Erin, the reliance on talent leading to no consistency in systems, being trapped in a group of friends who aren't pushing you to be your best and want to waste time, working dead-end jobs just to make a little bit of money, and relying on motivation to do work just when you feel like it. Loving this, that you really want to start writing down ideas and stories from your life that you can speak into. I shared on my update video that the 3 pillars of content creation are growth, authority, and authenticity. So every piece of content that you post should fall within one of those pillars. And this element of thinking of stories from your life is just authenticity, sharing the ways that you failed and the things that you've learned through your life. There's no one else who can share those stories other than you, so you gotta do it. There are people waiting to hear your stories and be impacted by what you share. This is a whole list, and I'm not gonna go through all these. I'll read a couple of them. But what is the content that you can create that would attract them and repel everyone else? I also shared in my update video a little bit about Apple. Apple was so head on their market, which is actually creative professionals, that everyone else wanted to have an Apple product. You know, everyone has iPhones and MacBooks and all these things now because Apple was so good at targeting their ideal market and their ideal customer, which was that creative professional, that everyone wanted to be them and wanted to get in on it. And so we can do the same things as we build our personal brands. And so some of the content I was thinking I could create is videos on personal development, stories of leaving my friend group to focus on my dreams and goals, investing in myself from mentors and courses, how to use a camera, how to script videos, how to ideate topics to talk about, how to repel the lie that it's too late for me, the story of not going to college and having to learn things in my own way, focusing on my faith as my sole sense of identity and fulfillment, and a couple other things. So I'll wrap it there, but go ahead and steal this exact framework. List out an actual full story for 2 ideal audience members, how old they are, what does their life look like, what kind of friends are they around, what are they good at, what are they not good at, what are they passionate about, what are their struggles and fears, what are their desires. And as you create all of this, you will get such clarity on who your ideal audience member is and how to speak to them and how to help them. I hope this was helpful for you. Hit the subscribe button, drop a comment, let me know if there's anything else that you would like me to cover in the realm of building your personal brand. Again, I'll be dropping a video like this every single week to break down a concept that I've learned or just share more in depth about how you can pick up some of these things. A lot of these things I'm learning in paid courses, and I'm just sharing it, bits and pieces of it for free here on YouTube to just really provide value to the people that I was years ago in a way, and then also even to where I'm at right now. But thank you guys so much for tuning in watching for this video. I hope it was helpful for you, and there's going to be a lot to come. I'm super excited for this year. Let me know in the comments if you end up drafting this up and writing these things down, if it helps you and provides you with clarity. I know it will, so share your experience with me and let me know. And again, just thank you so much for following along with me on this journey. I'm excited to see you guys crush it as well. Please DM me on Instagram. I'll drop my handle over here so you can follow along with my journey there. But you have the ability to do this too, and I want to see other people win and start to create such freedom in their lives by building their personal brand and just providing value to people and helping people. So this is probably going a little long at this point. Love you guys so much. Appreciate it, and I'll see you next week.